We continue our reading of Harvey's. It's not Harvey, but we're looking at Harvey's conception of anti-value through this review article. Okay, so but the credit system also produces anti-value in the form of debt. As we saw last time, debt produces value. So that is the engine of capitalist accumulation. So it is the source of value, but it can also produce anti-value. So it's important to understand how it produces value and how it produces anti-value. So that has this contradictory or conflicting role in a capitalist system. So that is the engine of capitalist accumulation and all by that creation of value. And as we saw, it does this through helping the producers, investors to invest, and also it helps if people, this whole system, and also the debt help the buyers to buy those things, those products. And the whole system depends on the confidence that people are able to pay their debts, investors, producers, buyers, and the whole cycle is not disturbed. I think more than actual payment of debt, the confidence is important, as Keynes and others emphasize the confidence. If there is a confidence in this system that people will be able to pay back and there would be new credit available, then the actual payment is not that important. That is important, obviously, but of secondary importance. But it's, for some reason, if the confidence is lost and the whole cycle is disrupted, then obviously you create anti-value by not producing and selling and buying and not accumulating what could have been accumulated at different level. And if this is this crisis in nature, then it can, the whole system can collapse, and that can result in the permanent or temporary loss of the creation of value in the capitalist sense, that is the accumulation for the sake of accumulation. So that's the summary of what we have learned and what he is talking about. Okay, over. Harvey defines debt as anti-value because it involves claims on future value production. Yeah, but as we saw, it's not just anti-value, it's value as well as anti-value. Capitalists must produce value to pay off debts. And as we said, paying off debt is in itself is not that important as long as the cycle of production and reproduction and the confidence is maintained. And that creates the balance between loss, creation of anti-value and value, in the sense that value is always more than anti-value in their eyes anyway. Capitalists must produce value to pay off debts, just as working people must labor to overcome their debts. As such, debt generates an imperative for expanded production. Expanded production, if the system is production-based, as it was before the current system, but the current system is, although you still need expansion in production, but it's not mainly production-based. So what you need is a balance between, or minimal expansion in production to match the expansion in financial, to match the accumulation in the money market and capital markets and financial markets. So expanded production and provide a powerful tool for disciplining the working class. Here he's going on his socialist rant. Yet the capitalist system contains a dangerous tendency toward the spiraling expansion of debt. Not just a tendency, the whole system is debt. The danger exists that the economic system will collapse under the dead weight of anti-value. The danger. if the confidence is lost that this debts can be repaid and the cycle can continue, then this can happen. And it's not just confidence, but there are structural reasons as well, obviously, because you need minimum production base to sustain this creation and non-creation and of debt and money and capital, etc. When debt becomes huge, that there's no prospect for future value production to redeem it, the debt peonage, debt slavery rules. We celebrate Athens of the past as the cradle of democracy. The Athens of today is the epitome of undemocratic debt peonage. Well, it is democratic capitalism, so capitalism rules. So you can call it democracy or not. It's a different kind of democracies than that of the Athens, in a sense. Okay, for working people, debt peonage means that the future is already foretold and foreclosed. I don't know what he means by working people, because in advanced capitalism, everybody is a working people. Debt peonage means that the future is already foretold and foreclosed. Trapped in debt, they are forced to work their entire lives with little hope that they will ever be free of debt. Everybody works their entire life, even the bozos and Musks and other crooks. For states like Greece, now he's coming to the countries. He's talking about modern Greece here. It's part of the European Union, by the way. For states like Greece, it means the end of democracy through subjugation to the will of bondholders and financiers. That's mainly German. Ultimately, Harvey argues credit expands the spiral of capital accumulation by foreclosing upon the future of as many economic agents as possible and condemning all and sundry, consumer as well as producer, merchant, landlords, and even the financiers themselves to the state of debt peonage. Well, that's part of capitalism anyway. It's just that what most of the world has been experiencing in the last 200 years is coming to bite some of the a small proportion of the population of the capitalist countries. And obviously, he thinks that this is anti-value foreclosing upon the future of many economic agents as possible. From the perspective of capitalism, that doesn't make any difference as long as the accumulation for the sake of accumulation is continuing and it is sustainable. Yes, if as a result of this it cannot be sustained, then the problem will arise. Okay, so Harvey traces the irrational expansion of credit to the elimination of gold system. Okay, it's a bit of a new topic, so we'll do that in the next session so we don't rush and don't miss anything. Okay.